together. All right, so today we're looking at the transits of Donald Trump. We're taking I'm going to do famous or political figure, but I thought it's too contemporary, and we did one last week, and actually last week's turned out pretty good. As we were looking at the chart, it was before he would have been arrested, but he hadn't been sentenced. And we looked like he was going to get 3 or 4 years, he would have some freedom, and that's right, his sentence was only 4 years, and who knows, with good behavior. So it was pretty right on. So that was a good adventure. Today with Donald Trump, we know a lot about him, and we've worked his chart. So we're just going to go through the steps and then try and get a sense of where we are for the over the next 2 or 3 years, 3 or 4 years, specifically next election, whatever. Okay. It's still the same process. It's like just you have to treat it like an ordinary person coming up. He's got his living his life. He's making do what he's doing, and it's the things that happen to him are going to be parallel to things that happen to him that are there in his chart. So he has his your natal chart is your magnet, right? The main stories that happen in your life are going to be in your natal chart. They'll be acted out by the transits, but really you're playing out your natal chart, and they actually put it out. Things happen, good, positive and negative for everybody. And we have our collections and successes and failures, and we often learn more from our failures than our successes. But okay. His pattern type is Donald Trump's pattern type is the bull type, the idealist. There's all his energy together on one side. He's throwing his energy off to the other half. Most of this is rising. He's throwing his energy at the other half of the chart to other people. I know what needs to be done. I get this stuff together. I'm putting this out. I'm doing this for everyone else. I'm putting this out. So he feels he's leading for everyone else. Like Gemini, okay, I'll get to him in a second. And the waxing full moon, he's just before a degree before the full moon. So it's the waxing full moon stage. But this is the opposition, the extreme of the full moon. And it's an eclipse. So he's born just before a full moon eclipse. And how many minutes would that be? Couple hours, 2.5 hours before the eclipse. Now, so when you're on a full moon, your past and your future are always opposing each other. The past is pulling one way, your future is pulling another way, and you're pulled in two directions, but there's an awareness that comes from a full moon, a kind of deja vu. I got a sense of this, I got a sense of this. And that overview that it's building up to the great. It's like he's a Gemini born near the greatest brightness of the year, and his full moon phase is near the greatest brightness of the cycle. They're both pushing to be more bright, more independent, do more independent things, see how far one can take things. Yeah, so the sun in Gemini, moon in Sag, with the Leo rising. Just the last bit of Leo rising. So he has his personal pride, but the Gemini Sag is many-faced, multifaceted, many different options, many different things. And usually the challenges of you say something that much mutable comes into life to experience, the soul comes into experience many different experiences, but often has the least to show for it. Not in his case, he has lots to show for it, but it's normally that there's many different changes and situations, circumstances around the diversity will build up. So he'll have extremes of too many things, not too few things, too much going on, not too little going on. So that's part of it. Also, the sun being up in the 10th house with the moon, it pushes it to career, building his career, building his thing. He can push, he can do this, if I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, I can do that. I'll do it. you know, and along with that comes the attitude everyone else who's trying to stop me has got to be in the way. So the opinionated Sag moon is down low in his chart. It's setting, it's in his fourth house. So he takes in opinions. So he's sensitive to opinions, but he comes out with his blatant individual expressions. I mean, Geminis in power have never been lucky. He's so far the luckiest. JFK murdered. In Canada, we had John Turner, he was there for 3 months. Joe Clark there for a short 6 months. Both of them made premature moves that brought about their end. But they try to anticipate things. They're smart, they're perceptive, manipulative, perceptive, immutable. So we're seeing air, and fire, pride and expression. And we can see that, right? And the Leo ascendant, I'm the king. There's no trouble seeing that. Why can't I hire my family and set my people up? So strong difference between the me, the I, and whatever the them is. With his points, I have 1 point. I think 3 points is Gemini. I feel 3 points. Let's see, 3 planets in Cancer. I will 3 points. I balance 2 points. I understand 2 points. So I feel and I will. I feel like doing what I want to do. I will do what I feel like doing. Like I think I will do it. So he has the Gemini, Cancer, Leo predominance in his chart. Okay. Again, it's a review. We have the darkness is increasing 10 points. So other than his Sun and Uranus in the midheaven, everything else is rising in his chart. It's moving towards darkness, increasing towards belonging, towards responsibility, towards commitment. But there's 10 points above the horizon. I'm going to do it my way. 10 points, not above the horizon. 10 points daylight is greater. It's got to be my way. I'm moving towards that, but I'm going to do it my way. I'm doing this for you, but I'm doing it my way. What I'm doing is good for you, whether you think it is or not. But the daylight, the darkness increasing, the ability to move, the strong sense of moving towards others or pulling people together. The daylight greater is this my way. So I guess he made himself successful, and then he had people that would line up to him because he's successful. Nobody likes anybody when they're down and out, so he's gone around the world, but he's always stayed in his own hotels. So okay, 5 cardinal, 4 mutable, 4 fixed, 5 mutable. That's a fairly even balance between everything. Winter, spring, summer, 6 summer, 4 spring, 4 autumn. So they're fairly balanced. Summer is the most active, winter is the least. Fire, air, 5 fire, 5 fire, 5 air, 1 earth, 3 water. So again, fire and air, pride, expression, action, communication, strong suits. Practical thinking, not. You may think it's not practical, it's not the earth element. And water, 3. Okay. Masculine 10, feminine 4, more projective than reflective. So this is consistent, his nature. He projects and he surely knows where he is, he knows what he's doing. He just assumes other people will see it. Not that everybody gets it. Or not that everybody thinks that who he thinks he is valuable. Some people think it is, some people are on the opposite side. He's got the full moon. He's got that opposition will be there. 3 points the sun rules, 3 points the moon rules, 3 points Mercury rules, 3 points Venus rules, no Mars, 2 points Jupiter rules, no Saturn. So the personal planets, the moon, the Mercury, Venus, and the sun, all his personal confidence up, he's thinking, he's doing things, they affect everything in his chart, almost everything in his chart. But Saturn, the responsible planet, being responsible, does not have that same effect, not by rulership anyways, not guided by authority or responsibility or caution, or really by force or by action. He's got it by what he wants, what he feels like, what he thinks needs to be done. He's by his own guidelines. So okay, again, no big deal. This is, he acts it out. It's let me get the houses. Signs down here. Okay, I'll pull the houses up. Yeah, so with the houses, 2 values, 2 security, 3 honor, 3 friendships, 2 conscience. Okay, I mean, these are the keywords being reinforced. This is see no honor, friendship, conscience, security, values. He values security. Okay, friendships, honor, it's our way, but again, we see the extremes. 10 points rising, he's going to project his chart. He's going to project what he wants to do. And 8 points above the horizon over 4. So his tendency is to be in the thing, it's in the thinking quadrant, right? The 8 points thinking, 2 points intuition, 2 points feeling, 0 points sensation. So the 0 point sensation is the ability to respond to other people rationally. That's the 9th, 8th, 7th house, the social conscience. But the ability to push things out, to get an impression, to prove things, to get something done, to do things, that's the thinking quadrant. That's the 12th, 11th, 10th houses. There he has 8 points. So we see this rising and above the horizon. It's all in that quadrant. It's, it's like his main emphasis is out there. It's not about his personal depth or his personal story. Although you could see that the independent Gemini likes the excitement and likes his power to do things, but his moon's in the 4th house in Sag. It's ruled by Scorpio, but Sag is in the 4th house, and he has married multicultural, like he did marry across cultures. He's connected to roots or having properties in different countries, in different places, building hotels as his sense of security, of getting a place for security for other people to live. So you can see, in a way, the moon and Sag ties into that. He's still building things up. He's still responding to that. He wants to make things happen. Okay, I'm scrambling around a little bit here. Didn't seem that long ago we were working on the chart. So, okay. What we want to see is just an angular succeedant 5-5-2 cadence. So in the signs, there's a fairly even balance of cardinal fixed mutable. In circumstances, he's pushy and dry and determined, not very adaptable. I will build my wall. It's determined and pushy. So fire, see in the houses of self 0, houses of relations with 3, concerns 5. So in the houses, there's the strongest emphasis on earth and on money. So in the signs, there wasn't by attitude, his attitude's not really practical, but his circumstance, there's a certain part that knows how to make money. That's 5 points in the earth houses, and 4 points in the water houses. So here, earth and water, and when it comes to circumstances, this is practical. He can see what he's going to get from something and what rewards he will get from it. There's a bit of a contrast between these two, but when you think of it, in his world, in his business world, he's done all of that. Okay, I'm going to spend a long time on this because we've gone over it, and just going to move. Yeah, just take these down. I want to get more into the timings of cycles and his history. So in this case,